What's up, guys and gals? Mike here with Morrison's Outdoor Adventures. We are jumping right into wrenching now on our Toyota Land Cruiser. So we kind of laid out everything that we're going to be doing to it, but this first video, probably the most important, right? David, our Land Cruiser here, 1999, pushing 350,000 miles, right? It's been used really rough the last 50,000 miles, mostly off-road. We're going to focus on some mechanical stuff. And it's a great opportunity for us to start removing some things off the truck. But mechanically, what we need to do, right? We know it needs a starter. We replaced it with a starter. Unfortunately, the starter that we put in, something's going wrong, and it's not fully engaging the Bindex in there. So it's making some grinding noises. It's not good. So we've got to get in there and take care of that. The downside to the starter, right, on the 100 series with the 4.7 liter V8 in it, right, the million-mile Toyota motor, is that it is down in the valley, basically meaning that now we have to take all of the intake off. So everything that we see kind of on top of the motor right there, all that has to come off just to access the starter, which is kind of a struggle. It's a long job, right? And with us going in there too, there's some things, some maintenance items that we can jump on, replace some hoses and some coolant lines and stuff while we're in there. The other thing that we've got to do is, and this is just as important because one of the downfalls to the 4.7 is it's got to stay cool, right? If it starts getting too hot, it's going to go nuclear quick. So we've got to get it cooling efficiently. So now when we go in, we're going to remove all the radiator hoses, coolant lines, check everything for dry rot cracking, flush all that coolant out. We know right now that it does not have a thermostat because we had to remove it on the last trail ride. We'll go ahead and pull the radiator out, flush all that out, flush out the heater cores, make sure everything is as good as we can put it back, right? If we need to replace anything, we'll do that while we're in there. I know already that we need a new fan shroud, right? Because ours is cracked and broken. So that's just a few of the items that we're going to get in there and do. And while we're in there, we're going to check some different things like some of our electrical connections, check battery terminals, and maybe finally, cross our fingers, right, we'll finish off our dual battery system while we're in there. But to make life easier accessing all this stuff, what we are going to do is take this bumper off the front. We know we're already replacing it. The bumper tweaked and got into the body on the Land Cruiser during some hard pulls, right? And it's outlived its lifespan on our Land Cruiser. So we're going to get that off, get a little bit better access, go ahead and pull the grill and the core support and all that off so that we can really get kind of down and dirty inside the Land Cruiser here. So we're going to jump in and see what we can get into. Let's check it out. All right, so because this is going to be kind of a long-term build, right? We're pulling the battery out. We're going to put it on a battery charger, see if we can get it to come back to life a little bit. But because the Land Cruiser is going to be sitting while we work on it, we're going to forget where stuff goes. Right, Ziploc bags, gallon Ziploc bags. Go ahead, pull hardware off, label it, right? Lets us know a little bit about where stuff goes. Like this is going to be our battery tie down. We're going to have a box for intake stuff or a bag for intake stuff, for radiator stuff, that type of thing so that we can keep track of that. I'm not great at remembering stuff. Another thing that we will use kind of as we go through is some of these magnetic strips for holding tools and parts as we're kind of pulling stuff off. So you can see one here, we're holding some tools and stuff in place. But that just helps us stay a little bit more organized while we are moving through the project.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
What are you doing, Sarah?
Just looking at social media.
All right, guys, so we're draining coolant stuff out so that we can start accessing the radiator, pull that out, right? But we've pulled the top radiator hose or top heater hose. So one of the things that we look for whether or not this has to be replaced is where the connections are made, whether it still has kind of its rigidity, right? If it's very easy to collapse or easier than it should be, right? Then probably replace it. But also as you collapse it, looking for dry rot or cracking, right? And you know, I mean, it's rubber, so you can move it around a little bit, and it is easy to be moved around, but we want to look for any of that dry rot or cracking. It is rubber with reinforced fibers inside, or this one is on our Land Cruiser. So it's not like you can just go pull one off the shelf, but that's what we're going to check out as we start pulling those heater hoses on and off.
That's what you're seeing.
So we're gonna have to get an intake gasket for one.
I need to write that down.
Yep, that sucks.
Intake gasket.
Yep.
Where'd you get the starter from?
Advanced.
And how long is the warranty?
I should have a lifetime warranty on it.
Your battery?
Possibly. Although this one probably has a warranty on it still. Maybe, maybe not. We actually need 2 batteries.
Batteries.
Yeah, we actually need 2 batteries, but that's like dust and stuff. But you can see, like, it just did not ever fully like shoot in and engage. See where it's shiny and where it isn't.
Okay.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'm thinking it should all be shiny if it was going out. But for some reason it was getting stuck and it would not. And I think that's where we were getting the noise.
Yeah.
Did you know they have a tool for that? All right, so in order to replace the starter on the 4.7, the 2UZJ that's in our 100 series, we actually have to take the intake off and pull it up and out, which requires us to disconnect a whole host of different things. And you can see where we access the starter is down in the valley, what we call the valley, the V of the V8, right? The top of that V. So now we're getting ready to start putting everything back together. This is where we got to be real careful because we do have some coolant lines, some crossover valley coolant lines that we have to watch out for, as well as some temp sensors and stuff like that we just want to be aware of as everything starts to go back together. So with being aware of that and making sure that we get all the connections back, right? We also have to plug in our fuel injectors and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at and that's what we're working at, and it's hot. So we're gonna continue moving on. You can see it real good from right here. It's almost like the starter just wouldn't engage on it all the way, but the teeth don't look chewed up or anything.
No, it looks pretty normal.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Damn, that's where the starter's at?
Yeah, it sucks.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yep.
No, it looks normal.
Get your creeper over there. See that one? You It goes right there.
Crap, that's a big spider. Oh my god! It was like almost right inside me before I saw it. That thing is huge. It's gone now, but it is small enough. It was like that big.
Slap it on there. Yep.
Ah, so we gotta switch it around.
Let me get the top one and I'll pass it down to you.
Alright.
All right, so we got everything back together. We got her fired up. We've run her a little bit. We've cycled the coolant and the thermostat, made sure that we've tried our best to burp the system. Probably is going to need to be driven a little bit now, but we still have one prevalent issue, is that our brake booster is not coming on. I was kind of hoping that with the battery being new, kicking on, that we'd get it going, but I'm gonna have to go in and check some connections and see what's up there and see if we're getting power. If not, that's an expensive fix, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Outside of that, it's running pretty good. Sounds good, right? So hopefully, if all goes well, our next step will be getting into doing some actual modifications to the truck, right? Getting it ready to hit the trail because we are running out of time and it's time to go camping. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, you like to see more stuff like this, make sure you give us a like, a follow, a share, subscribe, all that Instama Bookface Tube stuff. And any questions you have, feel free to reach out and ask. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the trail. Bye.